So continuing on with our tutorial series, we need to now add the logic to move our pieces down, and for that I'm going to create a new function called move piece down, and after that I'm just going to quickly create some nodes for this function and you can just follow along. So these group of nodes basically work just like our nodes over here. The only difference this time is that every time this function is called, it will move our piece down the playfield. So I'm going to go back to the event graph and then search for the keyboard event spacebar, and then connect the function that we have created, and then we're going to quickly run our game. I'm going to just quickly delete our player start so we can actually view it a lot clearer. So pressing the spacebar moves our piece down the playfield, and there we have it. It's at the bottom of our playfield. I'm going to quickly disable the draw debug in our line trace. I'm also going to remove the visibility of this. I'm going to enable actor hidden in game. And now we have a small issue, and the issue is that our piece is not really stopping once it have reached the bottom of our playfield, and it's not spawning a new piece. And the way we're going to approach doing that is that we're going to spawn a bunch of cubes in place of the cubes in our Tetramino piece once we hit something at the bottom of our playfield, and then we destroy our current piece and spawn a new one instead. So to do that, I'm going to quickly create another blueprint actor and call this BP cubes. Open this up, and I'm going to search for a cube, and in the event graph I'm just going to quickly recreate the nodes. So I'm going to create a new variable and I'm going to call this stored material. I'm going to change the data type to material interface. Right, so choose the object reference over here, and I'm going to set this variable as public. And then over to details, I'm going to navigate to expose on spawn, click on this checkbox over here, click on compile, and then close it. Back in our BP Tetramino, I'm going to create a new function called spawn cubes and just recreate what you see over here. So basically what this function does is that in the location of each of the cubes in our piece, this function will spawn a bunch of BP cubes actor that we just created before in the exact same location of those cubes in our piece, along with the same material color, which is what we are passing over to our BP cubes, so they look the same color. So back in our move piece down function, I'm going to drag these nodes away, and I'm going to quickly create some nodes. So what these nodes over here do is that if our piece can't move down anymore because there is something blocking its way, it's going to call the spawn cubes function. Then we're going to spawn our new piece and destroy our current piece. It will be a lot clearer if I just run the game and show you how all of this works. But before that, we need to go back to BP cubes. And in here, I forgot to connect our stored material to this node over here. Right, so make sure you have done this. Compile this and close it. Once again, compile this blueprint. And we're going to run our game. So I'm going to move my piece at the bottom. And there we have it. We're spawning our new piece. So yeah, you can see everything's working fine. Our pieces are spawning and the pieces we are placing at the bottom is getting spawned as well. So our code is all working, but currently our pieces are not really moving down when I'm not pressing the spacebar anymore. So we need to implement a ticking system so our pieces would actually move down on its own. Right, so we don't want our pieces to just be floating in the air like that. So back in our BP Tetromino, in the event graph, I'm going to set up some nodes. So over here in the event tick node, right, so after you have recreated the nodes like this, I'm going to navigate to our spacebar keyboard event. And in here, I'm going to set the ease moving down variable to true. So I'm going to drag out this pin and search for retriggerable delay, add a duration of 1 second, and once again set ease moving down to false. So the reason why I have set up these two groups of nodes over here, so sometimes when we press the spacebar to move our piece down, the event tick over here would also call the move piece down function at the same time, and it would result in our piece moving down the playfield twice in a single second, and that can cause a lot of issues later on when we implement the line or plane detection system. So in order to avoid any future issues, I really want to avoid our move piece down function over here being called repeatedly in a single second. So yeah, compiling this, if I were to run my game, you can see our pieces moving down every 1 second. And if I were to press the spacebar, there's a delay of 1 second before it moves the piece again. Alright, so with this, most of our movement for our pieces is pretty much done. I guess now we need to implement the camera movement, because as you can see, the camera right now isn't really rotating around our playfield, and not being able to rotate around our playfield is a really huge limitation, because especially in a 3D Tetris, you want to view the piece in the angles that you can't really see in a fixed camera position and orbit around our playfield as we run our game. Right, so we're going to implement our spherical coordinate system for our camera, to rotate around our playfield. And we will implement that feature in the next video. Otherwise, this video would be too long. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next part. Bye.